Bomper Stomper Boo? Tell me, do. Magic Mirror, please tell me today, did all of my friends have fun at play? I see my buddies in Nova Scotia, there you are. And I see Joshua and Marie, Pierre and Karen, Stuart and Kathy, I hope you're feeling better soon. I see Raylene and Nathan and Ingrid. Guthrie, I see you too.
And I see Dan and Vivian. I see Marlon and Mona. I see Catherine and Harley. I see Anne and Elizabeth and Jane. I see Bert and Nicole.
And there is Kendra. I see Cameron and Lucas and Sarah. I see Dean and Candace, who likes to ride her bicycle, and Paula and Keith, who likes to play t-ball, and David, who plays soccer, and Adam, and I see Catherine, and I see you too. Hope to see all of you soon for more romp room fun.
There we got the ad.
Welcome to another episode of All Nostalgic Television, and welcome to the secret hidden underground ant cave along with the Wayback Time Machine. I'm your television jockey, Doug Heim. Well, this will be the last episode of The Ant before I take the summer off. At the end of the last episode, I told you I plan to do something in this episode that I've never seen done before. Something no TV show or movie has ever done, and it involves you. That'll be coming up at the end. In this episode is all about nostalgic Green Bay, Wisconsin TV shows that never happened or were short-lived. They were ideas that just couldn't make it on the screen. In episode 13, I shared with you a pilot demo for a documentary about the Paulding Light and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It was supposed to be an hour-long television special hosted by Spencer Milligan. Here are just a few scenes from the 4-minute pilot.
Have aliens landed in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan? And why are they here? What is this strange light that appears every night? And why have crowds flocked to this location almost every night?
I've seen different color lights. The whole story about the ghost is just a cover-up. Actually, it's aliens.
Aliens mining.
Did you know there are people in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that believe there are aliens mining copper from an invisible dome?
With special cameras, lenses, and infrared equipment. Shocking footage of the light never seen before.
Unable to get enough sponsors to finance the production, the Paulding Light was never produced. And in episode 5, I featured another pilot demo for a TV show that never made it. The year was 1987. Country music was more popular than ever, and so was line dancing.
Hello, I'm Doug Heim. The following is a video demonstration of a television show called North Country. It's a country western music
That's
and
me.
dance show.
The show's name was North Country. The show was to be an hour-long and recorded at public venues with a live audience. The plan was to feature local country music artists, professional line dancers, and the public dancing on television. And just like the Paulding Light, North Country was never able to get enough sponsors to finance the production of one single show. The Paulding Light and North Country were never more than 5-minute pilots or demos. Another TV show that never happened was an idea for a half-hour TV show called New True Stories. It stood for Northeastern Wisconsin True Stories. This time, instead of just a demo, I had enough support to produce an entire half-hour TV show pilot. But in the end, the TV show never made it on the air. But in this episode, for the first time ever, you will see that entire TV show pilot. Plus, later, I'll share with you 2 demos of 2 Green Bay, Wisconsin TV shows that did air but were short-lived. One was a show hosted by Harold Otto called Polka Variety. Polka Variety was recorded at a venue with a live audience. And the other TV show only aired for 7 weeks in 1997 before it was dumped. The show's name was What's Going On, hosted by Alo Bunny. It too was recorded at a venue with a live audience. You'll see both demos right after the New True Stories pilot. The idea for New True Stories was to feature anyone that had made a positive and significant contribution to northeastern Wisconsin's history. Candidates included politicians, business leaders, or even a local hero. The show was to document their life experiences and career. The pilot you are about to see was produced in 2003. At the time, Paul Jadin was the mayor of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I presented my idea to Paul, and he volunteered to be my guinea pig to produce the pilot episode that you are about to see. And as I mentioned, this is the very first time the pilot has ever been broadcast. So let's get things started with the first clue for this episode's mystery picture from 1978. And I gotta warn you, it's a tough one. You are looking at a 1978 extreme close-up of something, but what? See if you can figure out what it is. I'll slowly zoom out and give you clues throughout the episode, and I'll give you the answer at the end. This object is part of something that has something to do with rivers, streams, boats, and traffic. This is not something you would ever own or have in your home. Instead, it's part of a physical barrier designed for public safety. More clues coming later. And now, as promised, you are about to see the very first broadcast of a pilot TV show that never made it to the screen. It was produced in 2003 while Paul Jadin was the mayor of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So, let's set the Wayback Machine to that year.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. In 1854, William C.E. Thomas became Green Bay's first mayor. The role of mayor has certainly changed since then. At the end of the 1800s, Green Bay's downtown district was the center of activity. Transportation was by horse and buggy, trolley car, or walking. Like the rest of America, Green Bay was learning to accommodate the automobile. After World War II, the city grew, and there were more and more automobiles. Downtown had a real problem on their hands: parking. By the 1950s, retailers were building malls and shopping centers in large open fields on the city's outskirts. With the exodus of business and customers downtown, the city had to come up with a plan. The solution? Tear down the cluster of old buildings and build a modern enclosed downtown mall and multi-level garages. At the beginning of the new century, just like cities all across America, Green Bay is still struggling with challenges created by past changes. As the city grows, so do those challenges: housing, parks, safety, water, transportation, crime, neighborhoods. The list goes on. But this is not a story about Green Bay and its issues. Rather, it's about a person who wanted to help the city deal with these challenges. This is a story about Paul Francis Jadin, the 40th mayor of Green Bay, Wisconsin. In 1946, while attending her cousin's wedding, 19-year-old Patricia Rank of Kewanee met a 19-year-old truck driver, Julius Jadin Jr. A year later, they marry and settle in Green Bay. Between 1948 and 1955, they had 7 children: Michael, Chuck, David, Jeff, Mark, Luann, and Paul.
There were a lot of larger families back then. A lot of the families had 6, 8, 10 children in it.
I had 5 boys in a row, and then I had a daughter, and then I had a son, which was Paul.
Monday, May 2nd, 1955, at 1:45 a.m., Patricia gave birth to a healthy 7-pound boy.
He was a very healthy baby and a very good baby. Paul was a quiet baby.
Patricia was hoping for another girl.
I really wanted another girl because I didn't want Luann to be the only girl in the family.
The family moved back to Kewanee, and in 1957, shortly after the birth of their last child, Katie, Patricia was left alone to raise a family of 8 children.
We were raised by our mother. Didn't have a lot of money. Had a lot of friends.
Patricia had to work to support her family. Her parents helped by watching the children while she worked.
Paul spent a lot of time down by his grandmother and his grandfather down on Henry Street. And our home was at 624 Henry. So, you know, the kids on the block play a lot together.
Sports was a very big part of our daily activity, whether it was a pickup football game or baseball game.
The Jadens were already longtime friends of the Stengel family, a family of 6 boys and 3 girls operating a 600-head dairy farm just outside Kewanee. 2 children played a significant role in Paul's life.
I met him when they came to visit, and I was 3 years old, and he came walking in when I was taking a bath. He insisted I was the ugliest thing he ever saw.
She comes from a family that was very close to mine, and her older brother, Tom, was one of my classmates and a very good friend who happened to marry my younger sister.
From 1959 through 1968, Paul attended Holy Rosary School in Kewanee. Paul was dedicated.
Where we might be out playing a few more sports games or getting in a little mischief, Paul spent more time reading and writing.
He'd be in the kitchen and he'd be singing and humming to himself while he was doing, and he would pound on the table or whatever. It was funny because we'd be in bed laughing, and he'd be doing his schoolwork at 10 o'clock at night.
It wasn't all study for Paul. There was still time for roughhousing with other kids in the neighborhood.
You know, as kids, you fight a little bit, and so we really didn't get along that well the first time I saw him, and I came away with, I guess, at least a respect for him, knowing that he was pretty tough.
By the time I was 5 or 6, my nickname became the Mauler because I apparently had a little run-in with some kids older than me and got the best of them, and so they called me the Manasseh Mauler, and that name stuck to this day. In fact, there are people over in Kewanee who still call me Mauler.
The Mauler came after the Manassas Mauler, and that was given to him by his brothers, who apparently Paul liked to wrestle with or fight with a little bit, and they also knew how tough he was.
My very first nickname was Judge. From my family gave me that name.
Well, it's really funny because when he was in 2nd grade, they had to write a little essay on what they want to be when they grow up. At first, he was going to write on psychiatry. He was going to be a psychiatrist when he grew up. And so when he was reading up on a psychiatry, you know, then he says, I can't write on that. I can't be that because they have the highest rate of suicide. So he says he's going to be a lawyer. I'd call him Judge because he was going to be a lawyer.
He always seemed to want to be in a leadership role, you know, from even in grade school.
I always felt that, actually as far back as kindergarten, that there was an expectation of me to lead other students in a certain direction, whether it be just what to do at recess or other more important things. And that frustrated me early on until a teacher in 6th grade pointed out that was indeed a gift of leadership, and it's something that from that day forward I realized I had to make a part of my life. Rather than fighting it, I had to embrace it.
Paul began high school in September 1969.
I very clearly went into high school saying I'm going to be class president. I want to be captain of the football team and captain of the track team.
Yes, everybody, and I think that was associated with him, could see that down the road he was going to be in some sort of leadership capacity.
Top of his class, very popular in school, captain of the football team, a track star.
Class president, the head of the club, the Badger Boy.
He showed great leadership qualities, and I think that was exhibited in the sports that he participated. He was out there encouraging others to try to do the best and get the best out of them as well.
Only 5'7" and 150 pounds, yet Paul made and broke records in football and track, records that are still unbroken.
So high school football and high school track had an enormous impact on me. Just the ability to achieve was something that I wanted to stay with me in a career.
Whatever he wanted, whatever he went after, he seemed to get.
I remember sitting at a baseball game in summer. We would do that here in Kewaunee. You'd go up and watch the baseball leagues play at night, and Paul and I would do that a lot and talk with the other guys who'd meet there or whatever. And here's this beautiful girl, Jane, and she at the time was actually going out with another gentleman. And during the middle of a conversation with the guys, Paul just comes out and says, "You know, that's the girl I'm going to marry," and he points to Jane. And I'm thinking, Mary, none of us has a steady girlfriend at the time, and here he's talking about marriage.
Graduating from high school in 1973, Paul received a full scholarship to Northwestern University in Illinois. He became president of his fraternity and was winner of numerous leadership awards. In 1977, Paul graduated from Northwestern with a degree in political science.
With that foundation, then went into a career, or chose a major in college that would lead me to a career in public service.
Paul dated Jane Stengel a summer before leaving for Florida State University. While away, he discovered he couldn't keep Jane off his mind.
I determined that I was going to move back to Wisconsin and that I was going to win her back.
That's the way he was with things. So he would find something and set a goal and would always see it through to the end.
Graduating in 1979 with a master's degree in public administration, Paul moved back to Wisconsin.
At that point, when he told me he was really going to pursue marrying me, I half laughed, and I was also very flattered and thought, yeah, I think this is the guy.
Paul became personnel coordinator for various counties before achieving his goal of a management career. In 1981, at age 25, Paul became the city personnel director. But there was still a bigger goal.
He was always a gentleman. He always made it a point to be very flattering.
She appreciated the attention I was showing her.
He thought about it long and hard, what he wanted in life, and I was one of those things. And he proposed, I said yes.
On Friday, August 27, 1982, Jane and Paul married. Between 1983 and 1989, they have a girl and 3 boys, Aaron, Michael, Charles, and George.
I know that his family is a priority, and he makes it very well known to all of us that that's the most important thing in his life.
Never at any time during that early period, or even during the first 15 years of my career, did I actually think about running for mayor of Green Bay, or that I wanted to be mayor of Green Bay.
Let's face it, Green Bay is a great place to raise a family. We recognize that, and when he got the job as personnel director here, I think things started to take off.
Sarah Thulin lost a run for the mayor's office to Sam Hallowen in 1991. The following year, she was the first of many to approach Paul about running for mayor.
People came to me and said, you've got the kind of talent to do this.
I like to brag about this, but he came to me first.
If you don't have a supportive spouse, abandon the idea altogether. There's no reason whatsoever to risk a marriage over politics or over being a candidate.
Oh, I wasn't the most politically astute person when this all started.
It was about August, September of '94 that I really started putting things together and was in whether I liked it or not.
Yeah, I guess you could say I got kind of good at it after a while.
She got into the campaign unlike anyone I'd ever seen, and of course since then has developed a reputation of being a political guru in the area, and people have asked her to run their campaigns.
April 17, 1995. Paul Francis Jaden was sworn in as Green Bay's 40th mayor. and was re-elected in April 1999 without opposition.
I came into this job knowing that I was going to invest every ounce of energy that I could that wasn't being invested in my family.
He puts in a lot of hours. I think in the 8 years he's been mayor, I don't think he's had more than about 10 vacation days in there.
There's no hobbies on the side. There's no golf, there's no softball, basketball leagues, or some of the stuff that I may have been involved with otherwise.
He makes it a point to tell me every day he loves me, a kiss every day when he leaves.
Today is Tuesday, July 9th, 2002. Today is expected to be an average day. To help him keep abreast of developments, Paul says he never takes the same way to work. At 6:30 this morning, the mayor was already assisting the police department.
My secretary, who does all of my scheduling, and I have no idea how she manages it.
We greet each other. I advise him of any changes in his schedule for that day. And then he generally likes a few minutes. I try to leave him alone to review the 2 morning newspapers.
Today, he has only 7 minutes.
And then the day proceeds with him having anywhere from 3 to 8 or 9 appointments.
Over an hour later, the meeting wraps, but only to schedule another one. This means he'll have to postpone another scheduled meeting.
Paul constantly has meetings scheduled. People call him and there's something that needs to be addressed, so he reschedules things.
It's time to attend a groundbreaking, but first, the mayor's special assistant needs a brief conference.
If he gets an urgent fax on a business that wants to come to the city and they want to talk to him immediately or want to arrange something, he'll ask me to interrupt him.
Paul emerges to receive a stack of phone messages. The trip allows him the first time to return calls.
Hi Diane, Paul Jaden. This is Paul Jaden returning your call. I probably will be in the office.
There's just enough time to socialize and the ceremony begins. 15 minutes in, it's the mayor's turn.
Good morning.
I get a little nervous for him before he speaks, but he's up there and very sure of himself.
About 3 or 4 months ago, I asked her how things were going on campus, and she said, Dad, that campus is really neat, but they could use some additional laboratory space. It's really inadequate. And I said, geez, dear, I'll do what I can for you. And so
at some point during the day, you do indeed have to stand before either 50 or more people or before a camera. And obviously, you have to show that you've got the ability to articulate what it is you want to get across to people. And at the same time, you have to show you're human.
Thank you.
Ready. 1, 2, 3.
Heading back to City Hall, there's only 12 minutes to make it to the next meeting.
The fact that I have to switch gears every half hour to every hour is something that I very much cherish about this job.
When he returns, there's an unexpected meeting before heading to the conference room.
I think my greatest skill as a leader is thinking on my feet and not having to have a half-hour briefing on an issue before I go in and address it.
An hour later, Paul emerges to find a TV crew outside his office door.
For next year, we would have had to cut about $4 to $5 million, and there's no question that it would have impacted police, fire, garbage collection, etc.
After the interview, Paul heads to the YMCA. It's the lunch hour, but today, lunch will have to wait.
I'm not an individual like some politicians who can smile through everything. When I'm happy, I'm happy, and otherwise I tend to be very stoic.
And the other thing that's really admirable about him is if he doesn't like something you've done or did, he'll tell you about it.
I did cross swords with him a time or two, but I found that, after the initial little argument got over, we still had an ability to communicate, and we really had a good relationship all these years.
At this time, the mayor's put in a 7-hour day. Phone messages, email, and a few more minutes to return calls before heading to the 6th floor for a meeting that's already started.
The ability to discern the right path from the wrong path is not an issue. I mean, it's usually very clear which way we need to go. The ability to take that path, to choose the right path over the wrong path, is something that really requires courage.
It amazes me some days that he doesn't just blow up, but he doesn't. He just doesn't.
Courage is something that above and beyond even wisdom and integrity and so forth. Courage is something that this office absolutely demands.
Paul returns to the office, and Jane is there to bring him lunch. But again, it will have to wait. It's time for the postponed meeting.
I've got to see Doug. I've already put him off once today. Come on in.
What I really always liked working with Paul is that I always felt when you went into his office to discuss something with him that he actually was listening to you.
Paul sneaks 5 minutes for returning calls before finally grabbing lunch. Lunch is no free time. Grant grabs the opportunity to meet.
For me, it's nice to know that I can come in and do that if it's necessary. Now, the challenge is always trying to judge when it's necessary and when it's not.
There's barely enough time to walk a couple blocks for a 3:30 executive committee meeting. When he arrives, a local TV crew is waiting. After the interview and meeting, it's back to City Hall for a 5 o'clock community meeting.
Good evening.
At the office, a newspaper journalist is waiting. The interview goes past 5 o'clock. Paul again meets with Grant and returns phone calls. When Paul makes it to the meeting, it's well underway. Shortly before 6, the meeting concludes. Paul heads to 3rd floor for another meeting with city officials and citizens.
I think he has a gift for looking at some of those situations and understanding what to do about them, and is very good at convincing others on how that should be handled.
You know, it's kind of like giving it a 1-2 punch and then letting your opponent up for a couple of rounds without hitting back. You know, we should be delivering that knockout punch. You've got one of two things you can do: either recognize that there is a role for government to play and try to play it, or you have to be able to say, this is why government isn't going to solve your problem.
The mayor is an hour late for a meeting the state governor is attending. Before leaving, the mayor takes time to talk with citizens. Back at the office, Paul checks messages before leaving. He learns his son George was injured playing sports, and Jane was going to take him to the hospital.
I think the community knows that if indeed any of those incidents involved a serious injury, that everything else was going to take a back seat to that.
The injury's not serious, but warrants medical attention. Jane and George head to the hospital, and Paul follows. After comforting his wife and son, it's back to work. It's a rush to the meeting only to discover it's concluding and the governor's already left. The mayor ends this 13-and-a-half-hour day and heads back to his family.
Not only is Paul a man of his convictions, makes his decisions based on his convictions, but his convictions are really not self-centered. They're to help other people.
And he challenged people to take risks, to find better ways of doing things. And frankly, he motivated a lot of people in the city administrative staff to do just that.
And this man was speaking, he wasn't speaking to me. He was speaking to somebody else, but standing close to me, he said, you know, this Paul Jayden, I think he's going far. He says, I think one day he'll be president of the United States.
The sky's the limit, and he's the president of the United States. Who knows?
I think we both recognize that at some point in the future, public service will call me back. So this is likely to be a hiatus more than it is a new career from which I will retire.
So if we had to do it all again, yeah, I think we'd be in the same place. I think these things would have happened.
I don't know that I ever see myself retiring. You know, that's not something that I ever envision. I think Jane and I will probably work till we die.
I'm not proud of Paul because he's the mayor, because he will move on to something else. I'm proud of him because he's my son.
Don't look at Paul Jayden and say, wow, he did all these things and he was so active and he was so involved and he put so many hours in and so forth. I want them to appreciate that, but I also want them to say, yeah, but that's what we want of a mayor and that's what we expect of a mayor. And from this day forward, that's what we're going to demand from a mayor. So I guess I'd like to be remembered as the first in a long line of progressive mayors in Green Bay.
It's time for another clue to this episode's mystery picture. This is a 1978 extreme close-up of something that was designed for public safety. It has something to do with rivers, streams, boats, and traffic. It's part of a physical barrier. Here are some more clues. These things were first installed in the United States around 1916, and they are mounted on something that is usually painted with black and white, red and white, or black and yellow stripes. More clues and the answer coming later. Here's a few amazing facts about that demo you just saw. It was shot using only 3 cameras, and even though I was able to get political leaders, business leaders, friends and family to participate in the creation of the pilot, I failed to find enough sponsors. Now don't forget, at the end I told you I'm going to do something I've never seen done before. Now up next, a video demo for the Polka Variety Show hosted by Harold Otto. And as you will see, the demo was made specifically to find sponsors for the show. The year was 1997.
For more than 30 years, TV polka shows were big hits on every Green Bay TV station. WBAY TV2, WFRV TV5, WLUK TV 11. Everyone was on the polka bandwagon. What happened? Production costs became prohibitive, and TV station executives didn't think people cared. For more than 10 years, the TV polka show was dormant. But now, thanks to a handful of dedicated people and thousands of viewers, Polka Variety is back on the air. After almost a year of preparation, a test show was finally produced and aired on Fox 11 in November of 1996. Everyone in the TV industry was shocked by the results. Never before had a TV show shot instantly to the #1 position with no pre-promoting. It was not only #1, but it beat all other programs at the same time by a landslide. There were more than enough people watching to fill the Brown County Arena to capacity 4 times. The demographics are unbelievable, 8 to 80, and the male response, well, it took days to open all of it. Thanks to viewer support, Polka Variety is now back on the air. TV director Doug Heim of Heim Productions is in charge of production. Doug was director of polka TV shows in the 1970s and 80s. Today, he offers his expertise and over $500,000 of video production equipment and a trained professional crew. Polka Variety now airs every Sunday morning at 10:30 on Fox 11, immediately following Fox 11's live newscast. Even TV 11 feels Polka Variety will help boost their news ratings. But the show cannot survive without sponsors. TV tapings will take place at dance halls in different cities throughout central and northeastern Wisconsin, and of course Pulaski Polka Days in Pulaski. Polka Variety is a wholesome family entertainment program hosted by Harold Otto of Pulaski. Many different polka bands from all over the country will be featured, including several Grammy Award-winning performers. Sponsoring Polka Variety is a win-win proposition. First, by sponsoring, your business shows it is in support of the program, and second, your message will be seen by tens of thousands of viewers. The best part is the price. After anonymously calling the other TV stations for prices during the same time slot, they varied from $60 to $300 for a single 30-second ad. No matter what frequency of advertising you choose on Polka Variety, you would never invest more than $90 per run. As a matter of fact, if you choose to be a main sponsor, you not only pay just $65 per ad, but you would also be mentioned at the beginning and end of each show and be mentioned on 20, 30-second promos for Polka Variety that would air on Fox 11 for an entire week. Polka Variety is a winner, and you will be too. Polka Variety is a production of Heim Productions, Green Bay, Wisconsin. For more information, call toll-free 1-800 700-5386.
It's time for another clue to this episode's mystery picture. Here's what we know so far. It's part of a physical barrier designed for public safety. It has something to do with rivers, streams, boats, and traffic. They first appeared around 1916. They are part of something that's painted in various striped colors, and here is the final clue. They often work with flashing red or yellow lights. The answer's coming up. The next nostalgic TV show demo is for a show that was short-lived. The show only aired in April and May of 1997 before being canceled. Only 7 episodes were ever made. It aired on Sundays on WGBA TV 26 at 10:30 p.m. Its very first broadcast was on April 6th. Here now is the demo and the show's host, Alo Bunny, to tell you all about the show.
Coming to NBC TV 26, April 6th, Heim Productions introduces What's Going On?
Hey, this is a show called What's Going On. It's the link for Green Bay and the Fox Valley to what's going on in the community.
There's a place called Heroes. I'm sure some of you are probably familiar with it. Yeah. And that's real good because they're one of the only clubs in town that really bring in some decent entertainment.
As the show is going on, I'll be seated in the audience and I'll be talking to people and getting a feel for what they like in the community and what they're doing and how they feel about whatever is happening.
Hayden Smith from Kimberly. First team All-American pitcher.
Are you doing the Michelle Pfeiffer part in there?
No, it's not the Michelle Pfeiffer.
Here's a personal. You ever read these personals?
Bi-cross dresser. Looking for other bi-cross dresser for dress-up fun.
My long-lost brother, Phil!
No.
I think I'd send him my Barbies.
Now, this is a live audience participation kind of show. So we'll have Packers on the show, and they won't come on and talk about football and football plays like my good buddy Larry McCarron has them do. They're going to come on and talk about wine, women, song, and maybe money, too. You'll see them in a different light. And we're going to have comedians from all over the country.
Would you put your hands together for Mark Snipe?
Damn it, back over to Satan. Satan shoots, Jesus saves!
Hey, who's your favorite supermodel? Are those Bugle Boy jeans you got on there? Wouldn't it be cool to see like Kate Moss in a real elegant dress on like one of these TV shows, just kind of walking and just like a... Are you with me, folks? 3 people, okay, that's great.
We'll also have movie reviews, CD reviews, video reviews, and let you know what's the hottest videos out there, what's a good movie to go see.
The #1 video in the video stores this week is called Cops. And the #1 CD is from Nas. And hey, it's a rap CD, so you kind of do that little funny. Yeah, you're bopping there, huh?
We also have a live band they'll play during the course of the night. There's a band that has a CD out. We're probably going to take advantage of them and have them come on and be on the show. It's going to be some good exposure for them, too. And by it being a local show, here's a chance for you to not only maybe push your product a little further, but it's also a chance for you to give something back to the community.
I want to be there for you, and for you to be there for me. I have many diverse interests and would love to share them with you as soon as I'm paroled.
Catch you again, but April 6th will be right there, and you're going to find out what's going on.
Catch What's Going On starting April 6th at 10:30 p.m. Sundays on NBC TV 26.
It's time for the answer to this episode's mystery picture. We know it's part of a physical barrier designed for public safety. It has something to do with rivers, streams, boats, and traffic. They first appeared around 1916. They are part of something with striped colors, and they work with flashing red or yellow lights. Are you ready for the answer? It was a warning light on a drawbridge gate. They are also called movable bridge signals or traffic signals for movable bridges. Well, as I mentioned, only 7 episodes of What's Going On were ever produced. Well, guess what? I have all 7 episodes, and you will see each of them in their entirety in future episodes of The Ant. And by the way, this is the last episode of The Ant before I take the summer off. Now, I've been telling you I plan to do something in this episode that I've never seen done before, something no TV show or movie has ever done. And it involves you. The closest thing like what I'm about to do was done on a nostalgic children's TV show that was franchised and syndicated on television from 1953 to 1994. The TV show, Romper Room.
Right now, it's time for me to look for you in my magic mirror. So put a great big smile on your
It's a show I personally remember watching as a kid. At the end of each broadcast, the hostess would look through a magic mirror and recite the rhyme,
Romper, bumper, stomper, boo. Tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today. Did my friends at home have fun at play?
The hostess would recite credits to the viewers by naming the children she saw in television land, saying, I can see Kathleen, Julie, and Jimmy, and Tommy, and Bobby, and so on.
Patty, and there's my good friend Matthew and Ray, and I see Patrick too, and David, and Jimmy.
I remember thinking it was kind of creepy that she could see us through the TV screen. I also remember waiting for my name, but I guess she never saw me. Somehow, I don't think she could really see me anyway. Well, I have my own magic mirror, and I can see who's watching. At the end of most movies and TV shows, it's traditional to roll credits for everyone involved in the making of the production. The producers, directors, actors, investors, and it's also the time that most of us get up and leave the theater or change the channel. Well, I got to thinking, the only reason I produce The Ant is because of you, so why not roll credits to you, the viewers and supporters of The Ant? It's a little risky, though, because I sure don't want to leave anyone out. The credits are in alphabetical order, so look for your name. The credits are more than 12 minutes long, and I dare you to watch every single one. Have a fantastic summer. And here's credit to you.